As the meeting commenced, Trump wasted no time in expressing his discontent. "You think the United States is a charity?" Trump sneered, tapping his fingers aggressively on the resolute desk. "We've sent billions of dollars your way, and what do we have to show for it? You're still fighting, still losing ground. I'm not in the business of throwing away money." Zelensky had arrived in Washington, D.C., with hopes of securing additional U.S. military aid in Ukraine's ongoing war against Russia. Since 2022, Ukraine had fought fiercely, but its military and economy were running dangerously low on resources. In contrast, Trump had been vocal about his dissatisfaction with the U.S.'s continued support for Ukraine, often arguing that it was draining American taxpayers and that Europe should bear the burden instead. Zelensky, though used to tough negotiations, was visibly taken aback. He had expected resistance, but not outright hostility. "Mr. President, Ukraine is not just fighting for itself. We are holding the line against Russia. If we fall, Putin will not stop at our borders. Europe will be next," Zelensky countered, his voice firm yet respectful. Trump leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. "That's Europe's problem. Why isn't Germany paying more? Why isn't France stepping up? Why should I care more about Ukraine's borders than my own?" What had truly set Trump off, however, wasn't just the financial burden. Intelligence reports had indicated that some of the military aid sent to Ukraine in previous years had allegedly been mismanaged or funneled into black markets. Trump had made it clear during his campaign that any aid given under his administration would come with strict conditions. "I've seen reports of corruption. I'm not going to be another idiot president who just hands out money without accountability," Trump snapped. Zelensky, unshaken, shot back. "We have fought with everything we have. Ukrainian soldiers die every day while the West debates politics. We need support, not accusations." Trump's eyes flared. "I don't trust you, and I don't trust your government. If you think you can manipulate me like you did the last administration, you're dead wrong." A tense silence followed. As the meeting dragged on, the atmosphere only grew more hostile. Trump proposed a radical deal. Ukraine could continue receiving aid, but only if it agreed to enter negotiations with Russia. He hinted at brokering a peace agreement that would require Ukraine to cede some territory in exchange for a ceasefire. Zelensky's expression turned to stone. "Mr. President, we will not surrender our land. Would you give up Florida if another country invaded?" Trump slammed his hand on the desk. "I don't give a damn about your pride, Zelensky. I care about American interests, and right now, supporting Ukraine isn't one of them." Zelensky stood up, shaking his head. "I had hoped for an ally. It seems I was mistaken." Without another word, he turned and left the room, his entourage following in stunned silence. Trump remained seated, fuming, his hands clenched into fists. As news of the disastrous meeting leaked, political analysts speculated that U.S.-Ukraine relations had hit an all-time low. Trump's America First approach signaled a major shift in U.S. foreign policy, while Zelensky found himself looking elsewhere for support. The world watched with bated breath. Would this be the moment Ukraine stood alone, or would Europe step in to fill the void? One thing was certain. This meeting would be remembered as the day the once solid alliance between the U.S. and Ukraine began to fracture.